All right, let's get this blog post started. Welcome to this week's episode of the Extraordinary Podcast, where I write blogs and then I read them to you out loud on the internet so you can listen to them on your YouTube, and maybe one day we'll put it on Spotify and hopefully even after this one. This week I've got 3 blog posts to read through with you. Now, the first one is a typical how to do something for 3 tips to doing something for 2025. I then have my reading list and then or the books I'm looking forward to for the year. And then I have one that I did this morning that's a little bit of a bonus one this week. I don't know what it is. The creativity's been flowing this week. Absolutely beaming to write, and it's been coming out good. So the first blog post I want to read to you is 3 ways to save money, lose weight, and strengthen your relationships with yourself in 2025. When it comes to human goals, it is well known that we all strive to improve in 3 key areas. We are all looking to save money, have good health, and want good relationships. These pillars form a foundation of a fulfilling life, but balancing them can feel like juggling flaming torches. And if you're a member of a gym like Vast Strength and Conditioning, you've already invested in yourself. So wouldn't it be great to know how to make the investment work harder for you in all 3 areas? In this post, this blog, this video, I'll share 3 practical steps that you can... Sorry, I was thinking about having a drink. 3 practical ways you can save money, lose weight, and build stronger relationships with yourself, your loved ones, and even your fitness journey. These strategies have transformed my lives, including mine, and I hope they help you make 2025 your best year yet. Number 1, prepare your food and manage your calories. Food is fuel, but it is also one of the biggest expenses in our lives. By preparing your meals and managing your calorie intake, you'll not only save money, but also take control of your health. I learned this the hard way, definitely do. Whenever I don't weigh my food or plan ahead, I always seem to overeat. Not only does it cost me more calories than I need, but it also makes our food shopping more expensive than it should. When I finally started tracking my portions and planning my meals, the difference was immediate. I began saving hundreds of dollars each month, and my energy levels skyrocketed. If I was to ever give anybody the biggest word of advice to managing money, it is counting calories and managing food quantity and quality. And that's exactly what I'm doing in this blog post. The best way to do this is to dedicate one afternoon each week to cooking. Cook in bulk or portion your meals into containers, or always have some meat, salad, and slow digesting carbohydrates available in the fridge ready to go. If you focus on simple nutrient-dense foods like grilled chicken, roast vegetables, and brown rices, whatever, sweet potatoes, and have a small portion of each regularly packed or ready to eat, and you're using a calorie tracking app to stay mindful of your intake, you don't have to be perfect, but awareness is everything. Once you've measured out once or gotten used to it, it's pretty easy to manage portion control and portion sizes. The impact of this goes beyond saving money and losing weight. It's about a relationship you will also build with food. When you take charge of your meals, you're no longer at the mercy of your cravings or last-minute decisions. You are empowered. This practice gives us everything we want to save a little bit of money, lose a bit of fat, and have a healthy relationship with the foods we eat while we do it. All right, that's the first tip. Tip number 2 is that you want to prioritize your gym sessions. Consistency is the secret source of success in fitness and in life. If you're reading this, it's pretty likely you are paying for a gym membership. So the key is to make it work for you. The more you show up, the less each session costs. But more importantly, the more you show up, the more likely you are to see results. Think about it this way. If your VSC membership costs you $60+ per week and you come 3 times a week, that's $20 per session. But if you make it 5 times a week, you're down to $12 per session. Suddenly, you're getting better value for investment, and with every session, you're closer to hitting your health and performance goals, and that's just basic math. The members we see transform their lives the most are the ones who simply commit to showing up the most. It is a promise. If last year you kept feeling stuck and you were coming sporadically, you have probably struggled to see results. If you can set a goal of doing at least 4 sessions per week or more, make it a non-negotiable. Fast forward 6 months, you will not only be hitting target weight, if that's your goal, but you will also find a new sense of confidence and strength you have never experienced before. Set your schedule and treat it like any other necessary appointment. Block out the time, pack your gear the night before, and show up. The ripple effects will amaze you, and that is a guarantee. And that is guarantee. Step number 3, prioritize yourself to build stronger relationships. This might sound counterintuitive, but prioritizing your own health and well-being is the key to strengthening your relationships with others and yourself. When you feel confident, capable, and competent, you change how you show up in the world. You know what? I've always been this is more of a personal story now. You know what? I've always been able to prioritize my fitness because it has always been my job. So I had to find another way to prioritize myself, and it was by looking after my mental and emotional health with books. When I first started prioritizing that many years ago, I noticed something surprising. Over the years, my relationship with my wife, Madison, has improved. I have more patience and energy, and I think I'm calmer and arguably more fun to be around. If you ask her, it's not the same, but my opinion matters most. I'm the one on the internet. Taking care of myself gives me the bandwidth to be a better partner, father, and friend, with the ability to be a better coach for you. Fitness shouldn't just be about losing weight or building muscle. It should be about building trust with yourself. Whenever you hit a PR or stick to a goal, you are proving to yourself that you can show up and do hard things. That confidence carries over into every area of your life. I read at 4 a.m. to be your role model so that you can do those challenging things. So just as I ask you to prioritize yourself, you know I am doing it too. Fitness is not just about the big wins, it's about the small daily choices, choosing to pack your gym bag, cook a meal instead of ordering in, making time for yourself. These small acts of self-respect create a ripple effect, strengthening your financial stability, improving your physical health, and deepening your connection with others around you. So make 2025 your year. Saving money, losing weight, and strengthening relationships don't require grand gestures. It's about the small, consistent actions that you take every day. By preparing your food, prioritizing your gym sessions, and putting yourself first, you'll create a ripple effect that touches every area of your life. So don't wait. Let's get started to commit to those 3 practices and watch how your investment in VSC pays off. Not just in the gym, but in your wallet, your body, and your relationship. 2025 is waiting for you. Let's make it extraordinary. If I could ever give people the number 1 piece of advice, actually, let me reframe. Those 3 tips are 100% what you don't realize that you wish you were doing to achieve the success you want to set out to achieve. If you just prepared your meals and counted your calories and your portion sizes more regularly, didn't binge, didn't give in to cravings, all these emotional things that make no sense, you would 100% be better off and saving more money. It costs more. You're going to food shop anyway. So if you eat less of the food that you've bought, you're already saving money and you're in a calorie deficit, then causing fat loss. So that's step number 1. Step number 2, joining a gym out of the hope of just using the gym makes no sense. If you're going to buy something, use it. If you're going to purchase the rights to something, use it. At a gym like Vast Strength and Conditioning, you're purchasing the ability to attend classes in a small group training environment /PT session / ask me any question you want. I will answer it. Someone asked me how to row yesterday. I did it on the spot. You have that capability. We charge a lot of money for that. You should be asking for a lot from that. And this video includes in that. It is content you can watch to then help yourself get motivated and G'd up. And that 3rd step of prioritizing yourself, it's funny that should come up because today I was having a bit of a go in the 9:15 at some of the mums there that were talking about needing me time. But the thing is with prioritizing yourself is that your health is vital mentally, emotionally, physically. By not getting assistance for that, you're just setting yourself up for failure later on. And I see it a lot, right? Like I've been doing this thing for so long that I see people that are deteriorated into their 80s and 90s who should be lifting weights, who should have exercise as part of their habit, and they've never done it. They're not doing it. Unfortunately, the young, they want those 2 steps and processes first. Like they want to lose some weight because we have magically now got too many calories that we can just always be eating too much and we have to count it. That's weird, but that's what life is in the modern day. And then we go out and exercise because our jobs are physically they're emotionally draining, but they're not physically draining anymore. So we really need to prioritize ourselves in that realm so that we can look after ourselves in the best way possible. By not doing that, by not going to bed early, by not getting up early, by not doing the things in the early time slots that we can. Okay, great, you've got kids and you have to do it after work. I love the people who drag their kids to the afternoon classes straight from wherever they've been to just give themselves 1 hour to do the workout and then go home and jump in head first. Now, if that's what you've got to do to have me time, is do something that's good for your health, mentally, physically, and emotionally, then kudos, like 100%, let's do that. To make 2025 yours, they're the 3 things that you really want to do. Prioritize making your food in advance, counting your calories, doing all that stuff. Actually use your membership, and then prioritize your health. That will put you in steadfast. All right, blog post number 2. I don't know whether I should do this many. Maybe I won't. Or maybe I'll break them into different sections. Let's just go. Let's just keep rolling. Right. The start of 2025's reading list for me is 5 books I plan to read early this year, plus a bonus additional read that got popped in there on Monday afternoon. Every year I get excited when I reflect on the books I read last year and can prepare for what the next year looks like. Regarding what I plan to read, I'm not going to lie, I do a lot more buying than I do reading. Holy crap, do I buy a lot of books, man. I reckon I've got over 400 books now. You know what? At $30-ish, maybe $20-ish each, I think that's about $12,000 I've spent in the last 4 years on buying books. If I had to save that money, I'd have $12,000. But the wealth of knowledge that I've achieved far out, like so much weighs everything else. And I've put it in here, I'm not gonna lie, I buy more than what I read. I get pocket money each week, and it literally is the only place it goes. Same with birthdays and Christmas, that's all I buy. So as we kick off the new year, I'm sharing the books I'm stacking my reading list with. The books I'm stacking my reading list with, books and excited to share with you. Wow, need to edit that. They'll challenge my thinking, expand my perspective, and help me become a better leader coach. In person to you and those who I have the privilege of coaching. This blog post is dedicated to the 5 books I plan to tackle in the first few months of the year, plus a bonus one I just added yesterday, which was the other day, and why each one caught my attention. Right, book number 1, super G'd up to read this one. It is Poor Charlie's Almanac. I've been told by every single person on the internet, plus all of my business mentors, anyone who knows anything about anything has told me to read Poor Charlie's Almanac by Charlie Munger. I've been told to read this by many people in real life and recommended on plenty of podcasts. Charlie Munger, who's Warren Buffett's right-hand man, is one of the most brilliant thinkers of our time. Apparently, this book is packed with Munger's mental models, life lessons, and practical wisdoms. Let's keep in mind, I've never read these books, so they're purely on my list of what I want to read that I haven't read. I've been told it is not just about business, but it is also about how to think better and make smarter decisions in every area of life, which I'm hoping to sharpen my decision-making skills and gain fresh perspectives on long-term success. This is jumping to the front of the queue for sure. As soon as I finish the 2 books that I'm reading right now, because I'm reading 2 at the same time, I'm definitely jumping straight into this one. And probably this one at the same time. This one is the second recommended, or the second one I'm excited to read is The Quest of the Historical Jesus by Albert Schweitzer. As someone who values spiritual growth and intellectual inquiry, I find this book to intrigue me 100%. I heard about this on the Bert Ehrman podcast, Misquoting Jesus, and he said it was probably one of the most essential books other than the Bible to read. According to Ehrman, Schweitzer's deep dive into the historical figure of Jesus isn't just about religion. It's about understanding how history and belief shape our worldview. The curiosity to see how this book might refine my view on faith, purpose, and how we live our values is brimming to the edge on this one. That podcast is, I think everyone who's a reader also wants podcasts. If you're a bibliophile like me, there's never a time to not be chasing more knowledge and knowing more about Jesus, like knowing the truths, the variabilities. There's so much to unpack with that, so much, and I quite enjoy it. Third book, The Outsiders by William Thorndike, another must-read book, but this time from the Founders Podcast host David Senra. The book is meant to profile 8 unconventional CEOs who achieve extraordinary results by breaking traditional management rules. As someone who runs a gym and prides himself on having a tight-knit community and being extraordinary, I'm interested in how bold leadership and outside-the-box thinking can drive success. This read will be about seeing what lessons I can apply to vast strength and conditioning, life, and what it really takes to become extraordinary. Number 4 is No Limits by John Maxwell. I've had this book for not ages, maybe 2 or 3 months. It sits on my bedstand and things have just happened to get in front of it. The reason why sometimes I find with these books is I already know the concept. So I need, and I'm not saying I know everything about it, but I think I put other books in front because I know nothing about that. I know nothing about that. I know nothing about that. I'm pretty sure I'll know a little bit about this No Limits, but super G'd up to write. There's another book that I want to read. It's called You're Not Thinking Big Enough. And if there's one thing, I think a lot, but I don't think big enough. I need to think bigger all the time. But this is the one I've got. I love anything John Maxwell, known mostly for his ability to break down personal growth. So, bro, this is No Limits by John Maxwell, book number 4. And leadership into action steps. This book is sold as a book all about breaking through self-imposed limits to reach your full potential. Whether in fitness, business, or personal development, I'm always looking for ways to push beyond what I think is possible, and this book feels like a guide to doing just that. Those are the sort of self-limiting beliefs too that stop me from not doing things like this. Like, let's just record a podcast, put it on YouTube, see who watches it, see who doesn't. It doesn't matter because it's only my own self-limiting beliefs that hold me back from doing this. And you never know what opportunities you have from stepping outside of your comfort zones and actually giving something a shot. That's what we're doing here. Number 5, Wonder Hell by Laura Gassner-Otting. Again, listen to a podcast one time, loved her concept. Didn't want to delve into the podcast realm too much. Love reading books like this. I find reading to be so much more, it sinks into my subconscious mind 100%. This one's called Wonder Hell by Laura Gassner-Otting. The title alone grabbed me. It's called Wonder Hell. Wonder Hell is meant to explore the tension between achievement and the pressure that comes with it. As someone who thrives on pushing boundaries but understands the weight of high expectations, I'm curious to learn how to navigate that balance without losing sight of what truly matters. And how many people go through that concept of pressure of expectation? Far out. I've come a long way with my own pressure on expectation over the years, and I'd love to find a way to help other people achieve that. 100% going to the top of the reading list. Now, this was the bonus one from Monday. I was in a business consulting phone call, as always, on a Monday with Dan Williams from Dan Williams Business Consulting. Used to be business mentoring, but it might be business consulting now. Anyways, we were talking about this book, and he recommended that I watch the TV show called The Good Place. Because I'm so much into philosophy, that TV show is very much all about that sort of stuff. So he said there's this book too called How to Be Perfect by Michael Schur, who is the creator of The Good Place. Now, here comes a little blurb here. This was a late addition to my list, like I literally heard about it yesterday, Tuesday, but I couldn't resist including it. Written by Michael Schur, the creator of The Good Place, this book is said to dive into big philosophical questions like how to be good, do the right thing, and live a fulfilling life without losing your mind in the process. After listening to the first chapter already on Audible, I'm now 3 or 4. I'm actually halfway through this book already, but I will definitely read this as well. I don't enjoy Audible. It doesn't sink in. Podcasts sink in. Audible does not sink in. The author's blend of humor and wisdom promises to make these deep topics approachable and entertaining. 100%. It's like a memoir. It's literally like what I'm doing to you right now. Read the thing, talk about something else. Read the thing, talk about something else. I'm excited to see how these insights might inspire me to live more intentionally and purposefully, something I'm always working on these days. Each of these books speaks to a different facet of growth, intellectual, spiritual, professional, or personal. Together, they will form a roadmap of what I want to focus on this year, sharpening the mind, deepening my faith, leading with courage, and embracing the challenges and joys that come with striving for more. It is my view that books allow us to step into new worlds, grapple with fresh ideas, and engage in conversations with brilliant minds, sometimes long after they're gone. They challenge us to question, reflect, and grow in ways that few other activities can. Reading isn't just about gaining knowledge, it's about nurturing our mental and emotional health. In this modern world full of distractions, picking up a book is such a good act of self-care. It slows us down, gives us perspective, and inspires us to think beyond the limits of our day-to-day routine. I'm going to reread that because I'm going to use this on social media. In this modern world full of distractions, picking up a book is such a good act of self-care. It slows us down, gives us perspective, and inspires us to think beyond the limits of our day-to-day routines. Whether it's uncovering tireless wisdoms, tackling life's big questions, or simply finding joy in beautifully told stories, I'm truly passionate about how reading feeds the mind and soul like nothing else. So as I dive into these books this year, I challenge you to find a few that resonate with you. Let's make this year to grow stronger, wiser. Let's make this the year to grow stronger, wiser, calmer, and more inspired and creative. After all, the art of reading isn't just about what we learn, it's about who we become. So the question is, what is the first book you'll pick up this year? Let me know. I'd love to hear what inspires you. Now I'm going to leave it there. I have been going for 20 minutes, but I am going to add to probably next week's video. The discipline is greater than extremes, the power of perfect practice. I have another blog post sitting in the wings. This one's finished. It needs some editing. Clearly they all do. I read through them and then I put them up and then I don't really go back to them again until I do this. But I've got that blog post written. Its discipline is greater than extremes, the power of perfect practice, which we've been talking a lot about here at VSC. And the other one is the importance of percentages for progressive overloads. We're really focusing on that into this next batch of sequences. But for now, thank you all very much. I appreciate it if you watch it. Please do give it a like if you've made it this far into the video. It is helpful to know who is watching these videos. I don't know, it's a lot of me just rambling and me reading, but hey, if it helps you, I want to help you the most. Take it easy. Let's get after it. Let's go. Get up and become extraordinary. Oh.